So I had another video all prepared that I didn't quite get to upload because everything changed. So in the video that I was going to upload, it basically gave an update on the bus, and I can still do that again. But we will not be going to Utah and traveling around for winter like we were hoping. Unfortunately, like we were ready. We actually got the mattress into the bus and we're, not ready, but prepared to leave. We were just waiting on insurance, and just because it's not far enough along, insurance was going to cost $400, and so we would have been able to do that and make it to Utah, but we wouldn't have a penny to our names at that point. So we decided the smart thing to do would just be to kick it here, just get through winter, build savings back up, and just work on projects around here. So we had attempted to kind of show insurance and put up like a tiny little sink and stuff to show stuff's happening, but yeah, it's still very unfinished. We got the kitchen counter getting started here and got the wall up. Thank goodness we hadn't actually taken the fridge apart yet, but the fridge is going there, and we got pantry, gonna have lots of space, and our little washroom right there. And let's see, get through here. Got the animal area, so, and bathroom area is supposed to go here. Rabbit cages are gonna be on the platform there. And goat area will be here. You can see I started getting it ready for the goats. It's gonna have a tie up for one of the goats here, have the chickens in one of the crates. The 4 does I retained this year in this crate, and then our other 2 goats here. Hadn't quite got the chicken area finished, and then we had another couple rabbit cages ready to go for the rest of my breeders, but didn't end up needing them, so I'll probably just have to pull all these out so we can continue finishing this area to where it's more appropriate for animal travel. But yeah, it just made the most sense not to travel this year because this is what we would have been living in, and it certainly wouldn't have been a very comfortable Christmas for us. But we're definitely, it'll give us time to put in the effort, the proper effort into making things good and strong. My husband's been bolting everything into the floor and gluing everything so that even if we were to get into a wreck, a bunch of stuff's not going to fly all over the place. Because apparently when I was looking into insurance, that's part of the reason insurance companies don't like insuring conversions, is that, a lot of times people are building these out themselves, and so when people crash, everything goes flying, so they don't like it. So that was the bad news. The good news is Christmas is on its way, and we're excited to start prepping for that. Again, staying here, we're going to be more comfortable and more set up for celebrating Christmas, and without traveling, have the money to be able to afford Christmas and stuff. So, and I'm sure the animals don't mind not having to be loaded up on a loud, noisy bus. If we did leave, we weren't going to have the time to properly get everybody adjusted and stuff. So, because ideally with the rabbits and chickens, I wanted to move them onto the bus several days before we were leaving, just so they could get familiar with the smells and the new situation before even turning on the engine, because that's what I'm sure would stress the rabbits out the most. The chickens I'm not too worried about. They're pretty laid back, but the rabbits were the ones that I was concerned on getting stressed out. Now the unfortunate news is that we lost a chicken a few weeks ago to a raccoon. You know, and we have a pretty well built coop. It's got chicken wire over the windows. You know, at best, mice like to get underneath it, and I'm sure they're nesting underneath it. It's pretty well secured around the top, but the raccoon, I guess, came up the tree and through that crack and got into the run. And then I had been leaving this door open because I like to provide plenty of airflow for the birds. And so I will be closing that door from now on so that the birds are safe. It's cold right now, so they haven't been wanting to come out. Hi guys. You can see one of my speckled Sussex is very heavily molting right now. But the raccoon, it came in, it was sheer dumb luck that one of the dogs had to pee, probably like 1 or 2 in the morning. And so my husband got out, let him out, and he could hear a chicken all the way over here screaming, which isn't right. Chickens sleep through the night. They don't make any noise. So he ran over here in the dark, banged on the coop, and it got quiet. He didn't hear any rustling anymore. So then he ran back over to get a light really fast. And he didn't know what was in here, so he grabbed a squeegee. And when he came into the coop, all the chickens, they love to sleep on that shelf in the back there. And there was a giant raccoon. Its big old body was out, but it was hiding its head between a couple of the chickens that he hadn't knocked off yet. And he said it was huge, so it sounds like it was 20 to 30 pound raccoon or something. But yeah, he went in there and struck it with the squeegee a few times to scare it off, and it went running and went out that hole, which is how we know that it came through there. It did get my favorite chick out of the bunch. Out of those 24 chicks that we got this year, there was only one chick that caught my eye and was like, oh my goodness, that's the one I want to keep. That's the one I want to breed. And it got that one. I was so pissed, but it could have been worse, because had he not come out and heard the screaming, like, every one of these guys probably would have been gone. So it's good the dog had to pee when he did. And it did get the rooster too. This guy right here, obviously he's fine, but it was until the next day that I noticed, you know, he was holding his head pretty limp and was super lethargic. And so I actually pulled him from here and brought him into the house just to keep an eye on him, and because we were hitting some pretty cold temps at that time, so, you know, I didn't want his body fighting for its life and to keep warm. And, you know, it took a couple days, but he started perking up again and did fine. I could tell it had got him by the leg. There was some blood on his leg. I could find a couple punctures there. And then it did get him by the throat. I didn't find the puncture, but his crowing was impaired. It was more of a muffled crow, which I didn't mind if he had kept that and was more of a quiet rooster, but his crow did come back. He's crowing normal, as loud as he was before, so. But enough about you guys. And that about does it for this video. I just wanted to let you guys know really quick that we'll not be traveling like we were hoping, but we will for sure next year be traveling around come winter time. So we will, I'll continue to give some updates on the bus as we plug along on that, and we'll see you next time.